Hey, how's everyone doing? Jared here. So as always, I have some cool shit to show you. At least I think it's cool. My taste is a bit weird sometimes. But anyways, welcome to another episode of Best Tech Under 50. I'm too lazy to add the sound effects myself. So I guess keeping with tradition, first up coming in at $55. This is the third episode I've cheated in. Anyways, these are the Ghost Tech Silencer Bluetooth earphones. They come in white and black, and they actually look really similar to the Jaybird X2 and X3, so you get similar looks without the similar price. We've got an inline mic on the control unit, some built-in cable clips for cable management, which is pretty cool, so you don't have to worry about losing them. And they're actually surprisingly comfortable and lightweight, like you'll barely even notice they're there. But of course, you do get different sized fins and ear tips to fit your particular ears. And of course, they come with a charging cable and a carrying pouch. Now, one cool thing I noticed about these is that it supports that power status battery indicator for iOS, so you can see the power status of these headphones right from the status bar, but it also works for Android, as I discovered on my LG G6, so hey, go figure. Now, Ghost Tech claims 6 hours playtime at 50% volume, but I mean, only pussies listen to music at 50% volume. Half the people in the audience right now are like, oh. Anyways, I listened to them at about 80 to 90% volume, and I managed to squeeze out about 5 to 5.5 hours, so not too damn bad. The audio profile on these I think is dope. More emphasis on the bass and mids, with treble still being on point. I think these are phenomenal for pretty much all genres of music. You cannot go wrong with these. Anyways, I really like them. I think they're a phenomenal alternative to the expensive Jaybirds. I'll have a link in the description down below so you can pick up a pair for yourselves. Okay, so I've featured Nomad products in the past, and I've flamed them in those videos for having cool products with highly overly inflated prices. Having said that, coming in at a satisfactory price of $40 is the 1.5 meter super rugged universal charging cable. Believe it or not, this thing is military spec'd with 1000D ballistic nylon. So in a nutshell, we've got a USB-A to micro USB cable along with a lightning cable adapter and a USB-C adapter. Cool. And it's also got this big beefy cable strap to wrangle in that 1.5 meters of cable. So this is perfect for someone who has both Android and iOS and or travels a lot and needs something completely overly engineered to charge your phones with. Anyways, it's pretty cool. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can pick one up for yourself. So next up is this hilarious little 280 LED sign. And it's got these suction cups on both sides and this 12 volt DC plug, so I think it's safe to assume it's for your car. Now this one only comes with red LEDs, but I believe you can find them with blue LEDs too. And using the included remote control, you can program up to 9 messages to say literally whatever you want, even the dirty stuff. The only issue with this guy is that for some stupid reason, they decided to put the IR receiver at the front. So when you've got this stuck onto your window and you're in your car and you're trying to change the message, but I didn't discover that until after I installed it and tested it out in my car, so I took it upon myself to pre-program some messages for drivers that I often encounter on the road. Yeah, I get some pretty bad road rage sometimes. Anyways, I'll have a link in the description down below for this one as well. So coming in at between 40 to 50 bucks is the MP5 game player, at least that's what mine's called. If you look, there's several different names for these guys. So this is supposed to mimic, not exactly be a clone of, the PSP from back in the day. Now, unbeknownst to me, this has been around for a little while, several years apparently, and it's still just as fun. The build quality is hilariously garbage, but it comes with a 4.3-inch display with a resolution of, get this, 480 by 272. It's got a 16:9 aspect ratio, which unfortunately doesn't pair up very well with all of the old school games that come with a 4:3 aspect ratio. And depending on what type of game you're playing, the battery will last anywhere between an hour to 2 hours max. At least it doesn't get warm under heavy load. I mean, it's got all the buttons you need. You've got a thumbstick, your X, Y, A, and B buttons, your D-pad, shoulder buttons. It's got a little micro SD card slot so you can load up your own library of classic games. On the top is a mini USB charging port, as well as your headphones port and an audio video out port, which I've tested it out. It is terrible quality. Oh, and we can't forget about that super high quality 10 megapixel camera. And I can tell you for certain this is not 10 megapixels. And across from the 10 megapixel camera is the mono speaker, which, while it does actually get loud, sounds absolutely horrible, but that's not all bad because it does actually add to the nostalgic feel of those old classic games. And what's cool is that it actually comes with a ton of preloaded games as well. And like I mentioned before, if you wanted, you can include your own library of games as long as it's got that .bin file format to it. The games that do come preloaded on it are Game Boy Advance games. I personally have taken it upon myself to load my own SNES games on it, and so I'm pretty sure you could probably load regular NES games on it, and it'll play MP4, AVI, and WMV video files if you're interested in watching movies on something like this. But regardless of how shitty the build quality is, it's actually quite a bit of fun to play with. In fact, I played 2 hours of Zelda, or 2 full charges. But anyways, I will have a link to this guy down in the description below for you guys if you're interested. Alrighty, and last up we've got the Marshall Major 2 wired headphones. Now you can find these for between $30 to $40 on eBay. On Amazon, they're about 80 bucks, so just get them on eBay. There's lots of them. Sorry Amazon, but I goes where the deals are at. So we've got this cool black textured sort of fake leather wrap on the headband. We've got the Marshall logo on the inside of it. And while it's got that sort of cool retroistic wireframe design, it's actually also foldable. So that's a bonus. And there's actually auxiliary ports on both ear cups, so you can place the cable on either side if you want. And the cable also has this inline mic with a single button to double or triple press to control your music with. And these actually have a similar sound profile to the silencers that I featured earlier in the video, with high bass and mids and very present trebles. So really good for all genres of music. And because you've got that wire connection, you're going to be getting much higher quality audio. And as on-ear headphones, they're actually really lightweight and comfortable for long periods of time. I also really like the low-key look to them. But yeah, I think these are actually pretty sick headphones. So I'll post a link to not only these, but also all the other products in this video in the description below if you wanted to pick any of them up. But that about does it for this one. If you liked the video, as always, show me some love and hit up that like button. And if you're new to my stuff, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.